Mrs. Wang. Mrs. Wang.
Mrs. Wang, are you with us?
I am paying attention.
2022 was a great year for movies, and now that it's in the rearview mirror, it's time to take a look at what's to come in 2023. Here are my top 10 most anticipated movies. But first, let's start with some honorable mentions. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. What could be Jason Momoa's last turn as the King of Atlantis, and a fan of James Wan, I am more than confident that this will be a fun way to possibly end the current variation of the DCEU this Christmas. The Super Mario Bros. Movie. I was skeptical at first, but the trailers have done their job and won me over. I am looking forward to seeing Mario and the gang on the big screen in what looks like to potentially be the best video game adaptation to a movie to date. Next Goal Wins. Taika Waititi's newest film. I don't know a lot about it, but I am a bigger fan of his stuff outside of the MCU than in it. If this can hit at all like Jojo Rabbit did, I would be more than happy. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. If there's one thing the Transformer movies can do is put out a good trailer. I checked out of the mainline Michael Bay movies after the third one, but loved Bumblebee, and as a major fan of Beast Wars as a kid, I'm optimistic for this one. The Killer. Another movie I don't know much about, other than it's David Fincher's next movie starring Michael Fassbender as an assassin. Sign me up. Maxine, the third movie in the Ty West Mia Goth X trilogy. I wasn't as big of a fan of Pearl and X as a lot of people were, but I would be lying if I said I wasn't really looking forward to this one. Rebel Moon. I am a huge fan of Zack Snyder's visual flair, and now that he can focus on this next major project, which is his version of a Star Wars movie, I'm excited and really curious to see what this movie's all about. Knock at the Cabin. Based on the book The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay, this M. Night adaptation has me very intrigued. I have been an M. Night fan since The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable. Even though his movies have been hit and miss lately, I would be lying if I said I wasn't excited for this one. Shazam! Fury of the Gods. I have been a big fan of the DCEU and the darker tone that it had up to the point of this movie. But when the first Shazam came out, it was a breath of fresh air, and the franchise really needed it. We don't know what the future holds in store for the character, but as a David F. Sandberg and Zachary Levi fan, I'm really looking forward to watching this in theaters with a big bucket of popcorn. And number 10, The Last Train to New York. I am always skeptical of American remakes of foreign films, especially ones that I love. This American remake of the Korean zombie sensation Train to Busan has a high bar to live up to. The last American remake of a horror film I put next up to the original is probably Let Me In, which was the remake of the Swedish film Let the Right One In. Here's hoping this one can reach those same heights for me. Number 9, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I'm admittedly not a big fan of Indiana Jones, but the fact that James Mangold is directing this movie has me very intrigued. If he can have the same impactful ending for Indy as he did for arguably one of the greatest comic book movies ever made in Logan, then we all win. Evil Dead Rise at number 8. A movie once destined for HBO Max, WB Discovery Evil Dead Rise is getting a theatrical release. After watching the trailer for it, my hype level substantially grew. I can't wait to see what scares this movie has in store, and if it lives up to those theatrical expectations. Number 7, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. In what appears to be James Gunn's final MCU movie for at least the foreseeable future, as he heads to run the new DCU. I'm looking forward to seeing how he finishes the story for this group of Guardians. And I might have to bring a tissue box from the looks of the trailers. Number 6, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, Part 1. I had bowed out of this franchise after probably the third film. I decided to watch Fallout due to Henry Cavill being in it and just the general good word of mouth. Absolutely loved it, and I plan on watching the couple I missed out on before Dead Reckoning comes out. Number 5, The Flash. I know there's a lot of drama surrounding Ezra Miller, which definitely taints this movie going into it. But from what the early word is, this movie is great. And I say that with a grain of salt because a lot of times you hear a movie's going to be great and often turns out not so. But I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm a big fan of Andy Muschietti, and there's still the 99.9% of people that worked on this movie that deserves the support. Number 4, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. The third installment of the Ant-Man trilogy is set to arrive this February. Director Peyton Reed said he did not want to direct another palate cleanser of a movie for the MCU, which basically the first 2 movies were. After watching the final trailer just a couple days ago, I am more excited than I was before for this movie. And seeing Jonathan Majors Kang. I am more excited to see Kang in action than I ever was for Thanos, and really looking forward to seeing what potential epicness this movie has in store for us. Number 3, Oppenheimer. I really don't have much to say about this other than anything Christopher Nolan directs will give me in the theater, and this movie just simply looks amazing. Number 2, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. The first one took me by surprise and became one of my favorite Spider-Man anything of all time. The trailer for this one looks insanely ambitious, fun to see all the little cameos of Spider-Man we've seen in the past, and man, I'm just looking to have another good time at the theater with this one. Number 1, Dune Part 2. Something about the first Dune had me absolutely mesmerized. I really wish I could have seen it in theaters, and I will 100% be seeing this one in IMAX. Denis Villeneuve has a way with making me believe in everything I'm seeing on the screen, and his visual style is just breathtaking. More and more he does, the more and more I fall in love with him as a director. And I really can't wait to see the next installment of this epic. So that's it for my most anticipated movies of 2023. Do you agree? Disagree? You feel like I missed some? What are your lists? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you for watching, and see you soon.